Hi everyone and welcome to Leelalicious. My name is Regina and today I'm going to show you how to make one of the most popular recipes on my site. It is coconut flour bread. Although coconut flour has a reputation of being difficult to work with, I actually fell in love with coconut flour right at the beginning of my healthier baking journey. After just a couple of fails, I quickly figured out how to make delicious muffins and mug cakes and pancakes. But then it actually took me another couple of years before I figured out how to make a full-sized bread loaf. But ever since then, this bread recipe has been super popular with all of the readers. So today I am going to show you how to make coconut flour bread two ways. The first method is quick and easy. It's done in the blender. It only takes a couple of minutes to whip up the batter. The second method is a little bit more involved, but it's so worth it because it creates the fluffiest, lightest bread texture ever. So let's dive right into this method. We're going to start with eggs. Separate 4 eggs. Place the egg whites in a small container where you are later going to whisk them up. The egg yolks can go in a large bowl where you are going to mix up the entire batter. When the eggs are separated, to the egg yolks add half a cup of flavorless oil. I like to use avocado oil. You can also use light olive oil or refined coconut oil. Even virgin coconut oil works. And add 1/3 cup of milk of your choice. I like to use unsweetened almond milk. If you like your bread to have a sweeter flavor, you can also add a tablespoon or 2 of honey, maple syrup, or sugar-free sweetener. This is totally optional. Now stir together all these liquid ingredients until they're well combined. And on top of the liquid ingredients, we're going to add the dry ingredients now. First up, half a cup of coconut flour. It is so important with coconut flour that you don't dip the measuring cup into the container of flour. This will condense the flour and you'll end up with way too much flour. So don't dip the measuring cup into the flour. Instead, use a spoon and lightly spoon the flour into the measuring cup until it is full. This actually goes for all flours, but it's especially important for coconut flour. Add the coconut flour to the bowl together with 1/3 cup of flax meal. You can also substitute a psyllium husk or a ground chia seed or similar. Optionally, add 1/4 cup of tapioca starch or arrowroot powder. This makes for a very fine crumb texture in the bread, but it's a totally optional ingredient. Don't add it if you're making low carb or keto bread, and it will still come out delicious and hold up beautifully. Also add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. Stir all of these ingredients together until the liquid and dry ingredients are thoroughly mixed and a cohesive batter forms. Set the batter aside while we whisk the egg whites. We're going to whisk the egg whites until they're completely stiff. I'm using the whisk attachment of my immersion blender. You can also use your hand mixer or even a stand mixer. Keep whisking those whites until they actually turn white. They will more than double in volume, and you know they're done when you can turn around the container and nothing comes out. They're completely stiff. Add the stiff egg whites to the rest of the batter and fold them in gently. You don't want to deflate the egg whites. The air in the egg whites is what makes this bread so fluffy and light. So just very carefully fold them in without deflating. Now we are ready to bake our coconut flour bread. You need a loaf pan and either grease it lightly or line it with parchment paper so the bread doesn't stick. Fill the batter into the loaf pan, smooth out the top, and sprinkle it with seeds of your choice. I have a mixture of chia, ground flax, and sesame seeds here. Cover the whole top with seeds. Now bake the bread in the oven preheated to 375 degrees. So now onto the quick and easy method of making this batter. If this method of separating the eggs and beating the egg whites is too involved for you, this next quick and easy method is for you. All you need is a blender. To the jar of your blender, add the liquid ingredients first, meaning the eggs, oil, milk, and optional sweetener. On top of that, Add the coconut flour, flax meal, optional starch, baking powder, and salt. It's important to add the liquid ingredients first. This way the blender can incorporate everything much easier. Now close the blender jar and turn it on a low setting to combine everything until it's thoroughly blended and evenly combined. Simply pour the batter into your prepared baking pan and top it with seeds of your choice. I'm using a mixture of chia seeds, ground flax, and sesame seeds. Bake your bread in the oven preheated to 375 degrees. It will take about 25 to 30 minutes for the bread to finish. You'll know it's done when a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean, or you can also just gently press into the tops, and if it springs back quickly, you know your bread is done. Let the finished bread cool for about 10 minutes in the baking pan, then invert the pan and finish cooling the bread on a wire rack. There are two ways of slicing this coconut bread. If I'm just going to spread some nut butter on top, I slice it regularly, but if I'm going to use this as a sandwich bread, I cut it into 3 large pieces vertically, and then I cut each big piece horizontally into 4 slices. This gives you more surface area when making sandwiches. And there you have it. 2 quick and easy ways of making delicious coconut flour bread. I know you'll love it as much as our family does. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon with another delicious recipe. Bye for now.